All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahuah HaMashiach. Let's pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receives honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba does not accuse you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem the Abba and Shamahim and Yahuah. Let's get this Ezra chapter 6, man. Hopefully this thing, man, it's because this doggone internet done cut disconnected 4 times with me just sitting right here. Before I even hit the live button. Joanne, Bonton, sit it on down. No, I don't want that. Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Let the work of the house of this house of Elohim alone. Let the governor of the Yahudim and the elders of the Yahudim build this house of Elohim in its place. Moreover, I make a decree. What shall you do to the elders of these Yahudim? That of the king's goods, of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered, and that which they have need of, both young bullocks and rams and lambs, for the burnt offerings of the Elohim and Shamahim, weight, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests, which at Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Elohim and Shamahim, and pray for the life of the king. Let's swing over here to Isaiah 54. I mean, Psalm 54, I'm sorry. Oh, that baby will learn something new. Psalm 54. Save me, O Elohim, by your name, and judge me by your strength. Hear my prayer, O Elohim, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set Elohim before them, Selah. Behold, Elohim is my helper, the Lord with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto my enemies, cut them off in your truth. I will freely sacrifice unto you. I will praise your name, O Yahuah, for good. So, I think we were talking about that salt before this thing went to tripping all the way out in that Ezra, right? So let me give you that Hebrew word for salt one more time. And of course, that is malak, salt, maintenance, mean, lamad, kat. You've been sacrificed by the ruach of the shepherd, or the blood of the shepherd. I think we got to a little bit of this Luke 14, and I know we was in Leviticus. So let's hit this Luke 14 one more time on the back end, and then we'll swing to Leviticus. You know what I'm talking about? So we're in Luke 14, verse 33. Baby Joanne, come here. So likewise, whosoever be of you that forsake not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost its savor, where shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. Now you got to go. Shalom, bro. Now you got to go. So notice this thing, what he states, right? If the salt is not fit for the what? For the hill or the dunghill. What do you think this means? Remember when we looked at it forth as Ezra 6 with savor, it's tranquilizing. You know what I'm saying? That which is peaceful. That which soothes, if you will. What do you think this means? It's not fit for the land nor for the dunghill. What is a dunghill? I think y'all know. but I'll share it with you anyway. What is a dunghill? So y'all know what land is. That's the earth. That's the rats. We ain't got to talk about that. But what is a dunghill? It's manure. A dunghill, which of course I think y'all already knew that. What benefit does salt have on boo-boo? Because he said, man, if the salt done lost its savor, it ain't fit for the hill or for the land or the dunghill. You know, I ain't played with much doodle in my day, so let's see what salt does for manure. I don't know. Some of y'all might have played with some manure. You might have worked on the farm. Myself have not. So what it does is many salts are essential for plant growth. That's because salt breaks down in water into ions, and some of these ions are nutrients for plants. Indeed, fertilizer itself is made up of salts, which includes nitrate, phosphate, magnesium ions. However, high levels of salt can damage plant growth. Say salt is often added to manure as a way to enrich it for the fertilizing of the crops. The addition to mask the smell, the salt would actually make the manure more useful for growing whatever was planted. And the air, just put that in there, that it takes away the smell and decomposes it. But in the context of what the Lord is telling you, what does he mean that if the salt has lost its savor, that it ain't fit for the land or for the crop? Think on that. As we go back to Leviticus chapter 2, I believe that's where we was at before this thing went to tripping. And who knows, it could do it again. So I hope you're paying attention, because I promise to you, if it go to cutting off and I got to do 3 parts is my maximum and I'm gone. I'm not going to be having 7, 8, 5, 6 minute clips, because this thing ain't cooperating. So I'm letting you know that ahead of time. Where was that? I think we were in Leviticus chapter 2, verse 11. I think that's what it was. We're going to find out. So I know we were talking about the unleavened and leavened bread. Let's pick it up at verse 6. This is referring to a meat offering, by the way. You can make it verse 4. Leviticus 2 and 4. If you being an oblation of a meat offering baking in the oven, unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, unleavened wafers anointed with oil. If your oblation of meat offering in a pan, it shall be fine flour unleavened mingled with oil. You shall part it in pieces and pour oil thereon, a meat offering. Again, for those who don't know what a meat offering is, again, it's minkah. This is a gift. This is a tribute. This is an oblation. This is an offering to Elohim, a gift. Go ahead. Verse 8. And you shall bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto Yahuah when it is presented unto the priest. He shall bring it unto the altar. The priest shall take the meat offering, a memorial thereof, and shall burn upon the altar an offering made by fire, a sweet savor unto Yahuah. Now, remember, I think we got to John 6, but if not, I can do it again. So what is this memorial? It's a different word for memorial that's usually used as to keep in remembrance. It is azkarah, a memorial offering, the portion of the meal offering which is burned. It is olive, it is zayin, it is kav, it is rosh, and it is hay. So what do you have here? If you got olive, now you have strength. Because in this one here, That's what you want to remember. You want to remember the strength. So in this one here, you want to remember the strength of the cutting, of the sacrifice, of the man with raised hands, which allows him to be your chief. Or you can behold the strength of the chiefs cutting and sacrifice. Because this is what you're supposed to be remembering in regards to this meat offering. Why is that important? I would say so, good sir. And because we're going to swing back to that, because I definitely want y'all to ponder upon the manure, the salt in the manure, and this man making this statement. Let's come back over here to John chapter 6. Because when you look at it, right, if the salt's not good for the land, I mean, if it ain't good for saints and it ain't good for sinners, then he just gonna get rid of it. Because at the end of the day, there's supposed to be some ability. See, at the end of the day, right, when you look at that Luke 14, he asked you a question. But before he asked you this question, he made you a statement. First thing first, remember I told you I talked to a lady about this because I've told y'all this before. That Luke 14:26, he tell you to be able to hate everybody except a husband, because Yahuah would never ask a woman to forsake her husband. See, this is stuff that people, like I say, right? Because it was some lady they were talking about, I guess, a conversation they would have with somebody about women teaching. I don't even understand that it says it's 2023. Why are dudes still going back and forth with women about that matter? If she want to teach, brother, let her. You ain't going to stop her. If you believe it's wrong, what you going back and forth with her for? I'm not. You know what I'm talking about? I already told you this before. It's no disrespect. I'm not following a woman nowhere. You know what I'm talking about? About nothing. See, a lot of individuals, they'll look at it and they'll say, well, the woman's your first teacher. And that very well might be the case. But when you're talking about the word of Yahuah, you're talking about following somebody who, remember, I put it to you this way. When Yahushua looked at, had told them people, are you offended by what I said? We about to go around. Let's just go ahead and read it off the page. Let me read that first part first, and I'm going to show you why. Because you talking about, when you talking about the word, it's just not just teaching, bro. This is my life you talking about. And no disrespect, I'm not putting my life in no woman's hands, bro. I'm not doing that. Not as no grown man. As a child, sure, I ain't have option in that. But as a grown man, I'm not doing that. Because it's my God-given right to lead. I'm a man. And I ain't talking about necessarily to lead no woman. It's my God-given right to lead myself. And if you come into my life, then you're going to acquiesce to me, allow me to lead you. Because if I produce children with you, then it's my God-given right to lead these children. So when it comes to this word, I can't put my life in your hands. If you cool with that, that's between you, that woman, and the Lord. I'm not. My mama didn't raise no hoe, man. You understand what I'm telling you? And my daddy ain't produced one. And my granddaddy ain't schooled one. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I can't do it. Shalom, Jay. And that's no disrespect. And if you offended by that, I don't know what to tell you, because I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, and I stand on that. You know what I'm talking about? And I mean that. See, we got to stop worrying about catering to people's feelings, worrying about it, say, hey, man, do what you want to do. But I'm speaking for me. Because I know if I meet a woman in the street or meet a woman anywhere and she talking about, oh, yeah, I want you to be, you know, I want to be married to you, this, that, and the third. She don't want me to follow her. She going to have the requisite to say, lead me. You hear common thing and trope mentioned all across the internet, beauty salons, wherever you can go. Hey, these men don't know how to lead. So you can't say you need to know how to lead, but I need to follow a woman, because that's oxymoronic. That doesn't make sense. You got to use your brain, man. You know what I'm talking about? You got to use your brain, man. I can't lead and follow you. You's a damn fool if you think you can do that. In any type of situation, you're either leading or you're following. You can't do both. You can't do both. There's no co-leaders. That's not how it works. See, people want co-leaders so when difficult things happen, they can absolve themselves of the responsibility of bad decisions or bad situations, but take the accolades for great decisions and great situations as it suits them. That's not what leadership is about. You know what I'm talking about? It's not what it's about. People want the fame of leadership. They don't want the burden of it. When I say burden, the responsibility of it. They don't want to carry that. And I ain't got to ask no woman can't let me lead. That's the most asinine thing I ever heard in my life. How the hell you going to let me lead my life when I was leading my life before I ever knew you existed? That's like saying Yahuah, we let Yahuah lead. You see how silly that sounds? That's like us saying, oh, we teach Yahuah sometimes. We his old lady, but we teach him every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Because he need to humble himself and listen to us. That sounds insane. Now, of course, on the natural level of things, yeah, man, you could take counsel from your old lady, man. She telling you, hey, man, hey, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? If you know she's saying what's right, man, you be a damn fool. But of course, you know, he that rule must amongst men must be just. Shalom, Sister Kelly. So you got to have the such sense to know that if you make a decision, it's not just affecting you, it's affecting those under your charge. If you don't even sit back and pay attention to how your decisions may affect those under your charge, you're not fit to lead. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, that's my God-given right as a man, is to lead. That doesn't mean I got to lead this woman. That don't mean I got to lead no group of men. But I can lead my own life, and that's good enough for me. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. And I can't put my soul in no woman's hands. I can't do it. I don't know what y'all can do, but I can't do it. Because I'm speaking for me. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't speaking for nobody else but me. I can't do it. Hell, from what I done seen, women don't want to put their lives in women's hands. You know what I'm saying? From what I've seen in my personal experience and my anecdotal experience, when it comes down to it, they go find the strongest man that they know, if it's possible for them. But yeah, man, I can't do it. But listen to what the Lord said right here, man. John chapter 6, man. Listen to what these people said. I pick you up at verse 60. It's a hard saying, but it is what it is. See, we live in such a time period, man, where we so worried about people's feelings, worried about not offending people, worried about being light and appeasing people, that you won't be a man. Because there's a lot of things that dudes do out here. Your daddy ain't teach you that. Ain't no man of no worth or no value or no nuts tell you to move and operate like that. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, stop messing around and be a man. If people don't like you, so what? If people don't agree with it, so what? If those are principles that you believe in, then you should say it and stand on that. And if people want to do opposite, then that's their business. Because see, I ain't the type of dude, I'm not going on no marathon or no campaign trail to talk about, look at all these wicked women teaching. And I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I don't care enough. When I say I don't care enough, I mean I'm not emotionally invested into that. That I feel the need to have to do that. I'm not. That's their business. Do what you want to do. Answer to the Lord about it. You know what I'm talking about? I just told Rohan that earlier. Y'all know that I'm not emotionally invested in what dudes doing with their penis. You want 4 or 5 wives, that's your business. I'm not invested in it. I don't care. But if you step to me, I'm gonna tell you I don't rock with that, and I'll tell you why. And if you got a problem, so what? But I'm standing on that. And if you look at me, you saying I'm wrong. Yeah, I just said you was wrong, nigga. I'm just not finna argue about how wrong you is. That's all. You want to do that, then go do it. But you got to be a man, man. You got to stand on what you stand on, bro, and stop worrying about if niggas gonna like you or still listen to you or not. I don't give a damn. You think the Lord in heaven sitting around worrying about, I gotta say it like this, or they're not gonna listen to me. That man don't care. That man don't care because he said what he said and he stand on what he stand on. When you worried about being accepted and validation from other people, man, you already wrong as a man. You ain't operating correctly, man. Who taught you? Who raised you, man? Because you need to start over. You ain't in the right spot. You ain't got to like me, but you gonna respect me. And that's all I care about. You know what I'm talking about? Because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna disrespect you. But if you want this, if you want some smoke, I can give you what you're looking for. I ain't got no problem with it. But I stand on what I stand on, man. I don't say nothing to the people. I don't say nothing to be like, yeah, the men gonna like this. I don't care if they like it, or the women gonna like this. I don't care if they like it. We ain't saying nothing but what Yahuah like. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care nothing about what other people think. Why you care so much about what other people think? Why you care so much about what other people got to say about you? Why you give a damn? Why you so emotionally invested in that thought process? But you ain't invested spiritually in what Yahuah think about you and what Yahuah got to say about you. You ain't invested in that, and that's the problem. John chapter 6, verse 60, man. Then I work my way back to what I came to John for in the first place. Many, therefore, of his disciples, when they heard, said, "This is a hard saying. Who can hear it?" When Yahushua knew himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, "Do this offend you? And if you shall see the son of Adam ascend where he was before, it is the Ruach that quickened. The flesh profit nothing. The words that I speak unto you, Ruach and are life. But there are some of you that believe not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. And he said, therefore I said unto you that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Abba. From that, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. Then said Yahushua unto the 12, will you also go away? That's one thing I learned when I started dealing with the word. Boy, if men walked away from God, I ain't even worried about if a nigga got a problem with what I said. And all this man said to make these people walk away was to eat his flesh and drink his blood. They said, nah, we can't fool with bro. Look at what Peter said. Then Simon Peter answered him, Lord, whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. And that's why I just can't put my life in no hands of no woman, man. Or certain men for that matter. Because see, this is the problem when you get caught up. And I told y'all this the other day. Just because you can recite some precepts don't mean you got the words of eternal life. And I can't put my life in the hands of anybody so I can seem to be inclusive or non-divisive or non-judgmental. I can't do that, bro, because this is my life you talking about. See, some of y'all, it might be different for you. Shalom, brother Ella. Some of y'all, it might be different, man. But I just was telling brother the other day, man, when you standing in the courtroom and you looking at a judge, man, and you know you can get anywhere from 3 years minimum mandatory to a natural life sentence, and you hear a man say, man, I think he ought to get 12. And then you sitting in a cell, man, or you done have shackles on you, man, or you done have somebody up a fire on you, man, and you understand how delicate your life is, then the word come around and you get a chance to understand that this is eternal life, that this is a great, I'm talking about a prestigious opportunity. An opportunity not only at everlasting life, but an opportunity to dwell with the Almighty Abba and his Son for all eternity in righteousness, in truth, in an eternal kingdom that'll never fade. Boy, I'm not playing with that, my G, to be down or to be cool. Nah, I'm not doing that. See, everybody else on some other stuff, I don't give a damn. Boy, I gotta live. You understand me? I gotta live, man. I don't want to die. And I ain't talking about dying going in no pine box, man. I don't want to die, bro. That's on y'all if that's what you want to do. If you think it's just about, see, y'all just think throwing the word out there. See, I taught you something. Man, if you ain't taught me eternal life, nigga, you ain't taught me nothing. You just were running your mouth and it sounded good. But my soul ain't saved. My soul's still in peril. Death's still on my head. I don't care about none of that. Now, your law tell you that this is not a vain thing for you. But this is life and death, therefore choose life. You know what I'm talking about? Now, whatever you choose to do, that's between you and Yahuah. But you better start weighing and considering. You better stop just thinking that it's just some random words just thrown out there. Man, anybody you getting the word from, boy, you just put your life in their hands. Because if that person don't know what they talking about, you going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? And you know why you're going to hell? Because you're going to take that bad information that they gave you and you're going to try to apply it to your life and you're not going to get the Ruach HaKodesh. And when that man find you, he going to say, depart from me, you work of iniquity. I never knew you. And I can't take that chance just to be cool. I'm a yay your butt. Dawn, Joanne. Yeah, you got to look at it like that, man. This ain't no game. All us gonna stand before the judgment seat of a Mashiach, man. This ain't no game. You know what I'm saying? This ain't cannon fodder. But it's your literal life. I've been telling y'all that for over almost 11 years. Bro, this your life you talking about, man. You don't value your life? I just told Rohan that earlier. There's a lot of people like this here, right? It's a lot of stuff, right? And I don't mean no disrespect. But I lived my life like this before I was in the word. Bro, I'm not finna have sex with no woman who been with a whole bunch of dudes. I don't even want your body. Shalom, brother Shaul. I don't want your body because you don't value your body. So if you don't value it, I don't want it. If you know you done been with 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 dudes, you don't value yourself. I don't want that. You know what I'm talking about? And it's not the aspect of you having sex. It's the aspect of what I just said, the mentality that you have. You don't value yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't value yourself, why would I want somebody in my life who don't value themselves? Because I value myself. So I don't want what you got. Because it ain't valuable to you. So why would I want it? You can keep it. You can take that over there. I'm not finna do that with you. See, a lot of people, you don't have that type of mindset because you ain't worried about that because you don't value your own life. So you don't care about intertwining yourself with people who don't value their life. You feel comfortable in that space. See, when you value your life, you have certain standards that you live by that make people who don't value their life uncomfortable. So therefore, they're going to have negative things to say about you. And so since most people are overly concerned about being accepted, which is understandable when you consider human nature in general, that we all desire to a certain extent at certain points of your life to be liked and to be a part of the group, no matter how much that most of us say that you don't. When they ostracize you, it upsets you, but usually you get ostracized for superficial things. See, when you actually don't care about being a part of the group for fundamental values, standards, and honor that you actually live by, then you don't care if these people ostracize you. Because you won't compromise what is valuable and important to you to be accepted by them. See, the average person, irregardless of the race, because see, it's not oh, that's the white man taught you that. That's nonsense. Cut that out. It's human nature. See, we like to put stuff on nationalities of people instead of looking at how human beings operate. Human beings want to be a part of something. That's why people get caught up in cults and get manipulated and all this other stuff that people be talking about going on. That's how people be lifelong Democrats, lifelong Republicans. People want to be a part of something. But they don't want to be a part of something based on standards, morals, and honor and value. Because those things are intrinsic and they can't be compromised by individuals who live that. And individuals who live that, they definitely will not separate themselves. They don't have a problem being separated from people who don't stand for that. See, niggas talk to their mouth fry fish, but a lot of them don't stand for the things that they say they stand for. You understand? A lot of niggas is goofies and weirdos out here, man, but want to purport themselves to be men of valor. But we know you a coward. We know you dishonorable. And ain't nobody listening to you. So when I turn around and I see that, for the most part, I have not seen in my 42, almost 43 years of living, a woman who will separate herself from the group for standing on boundaries, standards, morals, and honor. I have never seen that. So when I see Solomon say, I did a search through the earth and a woman I ain't found none, I understand why he said it, because I ain't never seen it. Now, I don't know if y'all seen it, but I ain't never seen it. I know a woman who will do that if she's under the guidance of a strong man, but just on her own, I have never seen that. See, I ain't like everybody else. I'm going to tell you what I seen. I ain't going to tell you what I think I saw. I ain't going to tell you what I heard. I'm going to tell you what I experienced. I have never experienced that. If you have experiences that are different than that, then you can share them. I'm not going to invalidate your experience, because if that's your experience, that's your experience. You know what I'm talking about? That's not mine, though. I can't speak to that. And I'm not going to tell that lie to coddle somebody's feelings, because it's not, I don't care about your feelings. You know what I'm saying? You'll be all right. You'll get over it. Feelings change. You'll be all right. I promise you, you will. John chapter 6, verse 44. Don't go back there messing with your mama. No man can come to me except Abba, which has sent me, draw him. And I'll raise him up at the last day. Paul, Psalm 65, because I don't really need no excuse to add that in. I just want y'all, for those of you who are not aware, I just want y'all to see that from the text. Shalom, my G. See, a lot of times when people hear stuff, they take it as it's disrespectful to other people because we spend so much time in our feelings. Everything ain't about no disrespect, but you can't be telling no lies just to appease people. That's not manhood. Joanne, hush your mouth. because you're showing out. And I ain't had it. Psalm 65:1. Praise wait for you, O Elohim in Zion. Unto you shall the vow be performed. O you that hear prayer, unto you shall all flesh come. Iniquities prevail against me, our transgressions, you shall purge them away. Baruch, who you choose and cause to approach. He may dwell in your courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, of your Kadash temple. Terrible things in righteousness will you answer us, O Elohim of our salvation, the confidence of all the ends of the earth, of them that are afar off, the sea, which by his strength set fast the mountains, girded with power, will still the noise of the seas and the noise of their waves and the tumult of the people. They that also dwell in the uttermost parts of the earth are afraid at your tokens. You make the outgoings of the morning and the evening to rejoice. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. There's a place in the law that talk about those whom Yahuah have chosen. Can anyone tell me where that's at in the law? Hey. Come here. Come on. Come on in. Because that's what you want. Yeah, that's what I thought you would do. Don't play with me. I'm not in the mood. Do any of y'all know where it speak about that in the law? About who Yahuah has chosen. The same way that you see, blessed are those whom he calls to approach unto him. While we holding this John 6 and 44. Numbers, is it? Yep. Let's look at it. Number 16. He just ain't giving me the chapter. Come over here to number 16, y'all. Number chapter 16. I give you verse 1 on the how. Now Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Elab, and On, the sons of Pelab, sons of Reuben, took. Rose up before Moses with certain of the sons of Yasharal, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, too much upon you, seeing all the congregation, Kadash, every one of them, and Yahuah among them. Wherefore, then lift up yourselves above the congregation of Yahuah. Let me ask y'all a question. It say they stepped to Moses and Aaron, but who got left out? It say they stepped to Moses and Aaron, but who got left out? That's right. Miriam got left out. Now ask yourself, why did Miriam get left out? Because ain't nobody finna step. They didn't look at her in that position of authority in that fashion, even though she was a prophetess and was right there with Moses and Aaron. When it came to leadership and guiding the people in and out, it was Moses and Aaron. They wasn't finna step to Miriam for what? These dudes didn't even think like that. I've told y'all a long time ago, and I learned this at an early age. Well, women are not a threat. I don't care what they selling you on the internet. I don't care what they selling you in these movies. I don't care what they selling you on television. Boy, a woman is not a threat nowhere on the earth to anybody that has any type of power, rule, or authority. I promise you that. You are not a threat. And we done looked at it in the text. They didn't want to kill female babies. They wanted to kill the sons. That's what your law say. That's what they did during the time of Mashiach. You ain't never asked yourself why? Why they killing all the sons for? Because that's the threat. Because when it go down, ain't no women going to war. See, you seen that in the Ukraine, man. When them bullets went to flying, them women went to acting different. See, living where we live at, everything cool. But when them bullets get to flying, people gonna revert back to their natural roles. But whole niggas gonna be whole niggas regardless. You know what I'm talking about? They gonna be trying to hide behind the women because they don't want to fight or die either. Because when it go down, ain't no women trying to, a select few, because you know some you got some of them, y'all gangster now. Y'all with it. And depending on the dude.